Hey guys, how's it going? This is going to be the video review for Transformers Generations Roadbuster, and as always, we're starting off with the front of the box. There he is, packaged in robot mode. You see some artwork here. If you turn the box slightly, you see the continuation of the artwork there. And around the back, we've got your wonderful product shots bio, like we always got. And that is pretty much it for the box. He does come with some additional stuff. He, of course, comes with instruction sheet. And, naturally, sticker sheet on this guy. And just for fun, because I think this looks kind of cool, I'm going to actually take the tray out here so you can see all his weapons that he comes with. And, as you can see, he comes with a bunch of them. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pause right here, get this guy out of his bonds, sticker him up, and we're going to see what he's like. Okay, guys, here I have Roadbuster out of the package, stickered up, transformed into vehicle mode, and weaponed up. And I have to say, I think he actually looks pretty cool in this mode with these weapons on him. I mean, this is my preferred weapon configuration on him. And of course, you have a lot of options, but this is just the way I think he looks neat in vehicle mode like this. I just do a quick size comparison. Here he is with Springer, and he scales, as you can see, fairly well with Springer in vehicle mode. And yeah, he looks pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and take his weapons off so you can see what he looks like with just the base figure without the weapons on him. And as you can see, he's a pretty neat looking, you know, little armored 4x4 vehicle. Look really nice. He has good detailing, and I think the stickers really add to the look of this figure. That's why I spent the time, went ahead and did put the stickers on this guy, because I think he looks really cool with the stickers. Anyway, he rolls pretty well. Now, I'm going to get to a few flaws in this figure. And, you know, everybody always whines about Hasbro not using a lot of paint on their figures. But on this figure, there's kind of a crap load of paint. Which is kind of good in some ways. But, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Let me point that out right there. That paint just peeled right the hell off, and I only have transformed him once for this review into vehicle mode, and that has already happened, and that is highly, highly, highly disappointing to me that that has happened. Plus, I've noticed his plastic feels kind of thin. I wish they had taken... I don't even understand why they painted it. They could have just left it molded plastic. It didn't really need paint. They could have taken some of that paint budget maybe and you know, put better plastic on this guy. I mean, you know, it knocks the figure down several notches for me, to say the least, to have this happen, you know, after only one transformation. It's very disappointing that there's already paint chips on this thing. It's, you know, plus here, it's a little hard to tell, but there's some imperfections right here in the front. I know it's a bit probably hard to see on camera, but yeah, I mean, it's just like, oh, and there's one right there. It's just like, come on, guys, this thing is brand new. It shouldn't be having any wear yet. I've only transformed it once, as it's designed to be transformed. Anyway, that's enough griping about you know, about the flaws on him, at least in vehicle mode. But I have to say, I think his vehicle mode is pretty cool. I definitely like the look of him armed up, and like I said, rolls real good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause right here, get this guy transformed into robot mode, and we'll talk about that. Okay, guys, here's Roadbuster transformed into his robot mode and all weaponed up. And I do have to say, with his weapons, he looks pretty nifty in this, you know, in this mode. And as you can see, he's pretty easy to dynamically pose. But I just previewed maybe one of his major flaw in robot mode. You know, he just looks really cool with all these weapons. He's got a ton of them. as I've mentioned several times in the video, and yeah, as you can see, he's got multiple mounting points for the weapons. He's got one on each shoulder. I'm sorry, two next to his head. Well, I guess those would be his shoulders. One on each shoulder. There at the top of his arms, and of course his hands. He can hold weapons. So that's a total of 6 mounting points of for his weapons in robot mode, which is obviously most than you know, the vast majority of Transformers. And his weapons combine in all sorts of different ways. You can you know, find a combination that works best for you. I'm going to go over each one of his weapons individually just for fun here, just so we can de-arm him a little bit and get to his articulation and everything. I will start off with, there we go. This is, I guess, a pistol, and it's on a pivot, which is kind of cool. So there's that. Alright. Moving on, we've got his missile pod there, which is pretty neat. So let's take it. And you just saw one of the flaws. Some of the weapons don't stay in super secure. Anyway, there's his missile pod up close. Pretty neat. And unfortunately, we have a small amount of paint chipping on this as well already. It may not be so easy to see readily apparent on camera. Let me go ahead and reach back here, and I'll grab at least one half of this weapon that that had a missile in it that's on a hair trigger. Let me go ahead and grab that missile. It actually just flew over here, so just going off camera for a second, guys. Okay, and that's what it looks like loaded up, and of course, you know, obviously we got some firing action there. Another weapon he comes with is this M16 looking gun. Pretty cool. Other side is hollow, unfortunately. He comes with another pistol, a little futuristic looking laser pistol there, and basically a stick or tube. And as many other reviewers have noted, it can go on the M16 looking type of gun to look like a scope. And that's pretty much going to cover his weaponry. So let's go ahead and get into close-up and articulation of the actual robot itself. And yeah, one of his main problems in robot mode is the fact if you transform him the recommended way, his ankles are actually down like this, and his feet are like this, and he has stability problems because all of his feet point towards his front, and he's pretty back heavy, so that will, of course, you can already see what's starting to happen here. But you just slightly mistransform his feet by doing this to both feet. It gives him a good amount more stability. Now, you still got to fiddle with him some to get him to stand properly, which of course is kind of a pain in the ass, but you can get him to stand. It's definitely doable, as you saw earlier in the video. He was standing. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and we'll just cover articulation real quick. His head can rotate and look up and down. Let me just go ahead and just bring his head in real close to the camera here so you can get a good look at it. And yeah, that's a pretty neat looking head, I think. You know, nice sculpt. And really, he's got nice sculpting all around. His fists are very nicely sculpted. Now, here's another issue with the figure. You can see there's some stress marks there in the hand already just from putting in the weapons and taking them out, which is just kind of, you know, that's a bit of a downer. So, yeah, like I said, this guy's got some problems. But anyway, enough of that. Let's just get to articulation. His feet have a good range of movement. Can rotate forward, back, pivot, the whole 9 yards. Bends at the knee. And he does technically rotate at the top of the leg, but it's very tight. Forward, back, in, out, ratchet joint. Oh, double ratcheted knees, which is, you know, pretty cool. Doesn't have any waist rotation. He's got shoulder rotation. Up and down at the shoulder. Double jointed elbow. Unfortunately, he doesn't rotate. Oh, I guess he technically does, but that is a really tight. It technically probably can move, but yeah, considering what the plastic is like and stuff, I'm not gonna force it. And again, you know, you're getting to really my main complaints about this figure is really just some of these joints are just too tight. The plastic thin, and the paint just peels off, and those are major strikes against the figure overall. Would I recommend picking this guy up? For an adult collector, yes, because despite his shortcomings, if you don't transform him much and you just want to put him on display, he looks pretty awesome. He looks nice. Would I recommend this for a toy for like a kid? No, absolutely not. The kid will break it shortly and or at least really ruin the paint job in no time. So this would not be for kids. So I would, oops, and I just knocked the camera and him down. Good job. So yeah, he's definitely a pass for kids. For adult collectors, if you like the character and you like the way he looks, yes, you should get him. Anyway, just for a quick size comparison, here he is next to Springer, and good scale with Springer, just like in a vehicle mode. But yeah, overall, this guy is a little bit below average as a figure. Very disappointing in some regards, but he does look really cool. It's a great looking rendition of Roadbuster and comes with a lot of weapons, which makes him kind of cool. Anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time.